What's that movie with the big guy in the hand? Smashing Rock, whatever his
The
name
guy
is.
with the hand?
You know, the guy.
I don't know.
I think you
Whoa.
downloaded the
Pause
wrong
there.
movie, James.
It's a Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph.
Right.
Sorry.
There you go. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Heroes Peak podcast. I am your host, Chris, and I'm here with my wonderful co-hosts and friends, Mike and James. How you guys doing? Number one Laker fan down there. And
I'm just an NBA fan. Couldn't find another team hat, so NBA fan all the way.
I'll make sure to send a screenshot to the other chat just so Brooksy can see it. She'll be so happy that you are rooting for her down 0-1.
I'm rooting
Lakers.
for Adam Silver in the NBA.
So, Mike, I heard your hockey team lost.
My hockey team lost. My basketball team lost. It's not been a good year. Oh, well. So, before we start, I'm going to play a little game called How Dumb is the English Language? You guys ready?
Oh.
All right. Here we go. I want you to pronounce this word for me.
A chair.
A chair.
Now, pronounce. Change one letter. Now, pronounce this word for me.
Acquire.
A chore.
No.
It's what your parents made you do.
Acquire.
For no money.
Yep. Acquire. Now,
thank you.
How dumb is the English language? Pronounce this word.
Acquire.
Why, English? Why?
Because we steal things like the
Yes.
British. So we steal words from the French, we stole words from the Germans, we stole words
Came a long way from Latin.
The Spanish.
Yeah. Came a long way from that language.
Los Angeles Angels. What was the other one we talked about the other day? There was another one. Oh, it was chai tea.
Mm-hmm. It's just chai, folks. Just chai.
Well, what about, and this is, I'm a New Yorker, but New York. Like, the state's cap. I mean, it's not the capital,
Right.
but at one point, New York was. And it's like, why name it twice?
The city's so nice, they named
There
it
you
twice,
go.
right?
Twice, yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the number one movie this year. I'm surprised it took us this long to talk about it. It is the Super Mario Brothers movie. We get to talk about an animated movie, and I'm going to have the lowest grade. What the hell?
You don't like Jesus and puppies.
That's it.
That's right. All the fun hurt me in this one. All right. So we're talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie. It just came out, went straight to theaters, made $1 billion for some reason. Well, I'll tell you why. It's nostalgia. Made $1 billion for nostalgia's sake.
Because it's good.
And so I looked it up. So the writer also wrote the Lego Movie 2 and the Minions. What's it, like the 6th movie, The Rise of Gru?
I didn't see that.
And yeah, so top
I've only seen
of
the first Minions
top of his
movie,
class. And there's 4 directors. Now, animation can usually have multiple directors, but we've got directors from like the Teen Titans Go and animation people from a lot of DC kids animation.
That's good.
So, Batman,
so far, I'm hearing some good stuff, some positive
Batman,
stuff.
Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, good shows.
What was the other one I saw? I forget what it was, but interesting background for the writing and directing staff. And we'll get into that. This stars, of course, Chris Pratt, Jack Black, and Anya Taylor-Joy, because we can't hire voice actors. We have to have famous people come in and pretend we don't recognize them.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if acting school now have classes to do voiceovers as well as stage and theater. Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, that would be interesting. A lot of it is just personality. They're like, okay, Jack Black, you come in and be Jack Black. He's not. Doesn't seem to be like building a separate character around Bowser. He's just being Jack Black. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these famous actors come in and they just kind of play themselves because they're
No, but then
usually
if you look
hired.
at Bradley Cooper, it's definitely not his natural voice.
No.
Like that's something
But
totally different.
that's not it. I know it's a voiceover, but live action, these animated characters in a live action setting, I think it's a different setting
Okay, you're right.
than
You're right. Yeah.
than these children aimed at children. Obviously, not just for children.
Gotcha.
And these made for children animated movies aren't trying to get people to like build a character and then like you will like the Batman animated series. I didn't, when you first heard it, you didn't go, oh, that's Mark Hamill there,
Right.
right? That was the
No,
Joker.
I
He
didn't.
built
Yeah,
a
yeah.
character. He made himself a different
Yeah.
thing. And whereas this, I went, oh, okay, that's Chris Pratt,
Yeah. See,
right?
that's not aimed at for the kids. Like kids don't care.
No, that's the
Yeah.
wild part is, and this is a thing about big name, big studio animation is that they'll hire famous people to front if they don't think they can sell it on their own. Like your average Disney movie, they don't necessarily go out and
No,
hire
that's
the
what I was
most
gonna say.
famous
Disney
person.
doesn't do
You'll
that.
you'll get like one, like you'll get The Rock in
Yeah.
Moana, or you'll get uh John Leguizamo in Bruno as Bruno in
Of course, the best was
I
Robin Williams in Aladdin.
wait,
So
right, but then Robin Williams is a
right.
character. He
Eddie
is a
Murphy and
character.
Donkey.
Yeah.
Hold on, Eddie Murphy and Donkey.
But that's Shrek. So they
No, Milan
hired two
too.
people
Wasn't
that
he
are.
in Milan?
Yeah, he was a dragon.
Oh,
the
he was the
dragon.
dragon in
Yeah.
Mulan. That is such a
Yeah,
weird
Yeah.
casting, but okay, yeah, I can get that one.
he actually has
But like
natural talent for changing his
He
voice.
does.
a bunch.
Yeah.
So
he
he's a
did,
little bit different than
but
the average actor that's hired just
right,
for their name.
that's not just like Chris Pratt. Like those are guys that have a boisterous personality in their with their voice acting, and you can see why they hire those guys.
Yeah.
This is not a complaint about voice acting. We're going to talk about the actual movie now. This is a quick hour and a half movie. I was shocked by how fast this movie was.
As
Tight
long,
and lean.
yeah, it's as long as it needed to be. There was, I mean, first off, I mean, you bring kids this movie, like, don't make it a 2.5 hour movie for kids. They don't want to sit there that long. Like after a 90-minute point, they're done. You know what I mean? They gotta go.
After 90 minutes
Right.
of sugary
Yeah,
popcorn,
they gotta go
candy,
pee.
and soda.
It's time to go to the park. You know, I miss my iPad. What's happening here? Can we go now?
They're doing
Yeah.
both at the same time. Don't worry.
Right.
They're doing the
Yeah,
iPad.
as
and
soon as
watching.
you start seeing a message in the third act, you kind of zoned out.
Yep.
All right, let's just get this quickly. I think out of the way. I think we all would agree that this is very well animated. Just the visuals, the smoothness of the animation, the character builds, the designs. I think that all looked wonderful. What did you guys
Agreed.
think of the look, the animation, the style, especially being this is a character that's known for what, it feels like 50 years. Like
Yeah,
one of the most
1983.
popular known characters
40 years
in
at
the
least.
world, and they didn't pull a Sonic on him. They didn't try to do something wild. They just said, "That's Mario." He looked like he looks on the front of the box. What'd you guys think of the animation and all that, the character designs?
I didn't get a chance to see it in a large screen theater format, so I'm sure it would have been better. But even watching it at home on digital, I felt that it was popping. The colors were vibrant and reminiscent of the maybe not the first iteration of the game, but definitely by the time we get to Super Mario Brothers 3, the bubbly, the less polygon and more like smoother lines, circular lines and stuff. So to me, I'm not like you, Chris. I don't sit down and dissect Star Wars Visions versus anime versus Pixar But just
Right.
being a general audience and also a Super Mario Brothers fan, I thought the visuals were great. Thought that they were done really well. The styles that they chose to show the action sequences, I thought was pretty cool. I'm trying to think some other recent cartoons that were cartoon movies that were similar. I can't think of it other than maybe what's that movie with the big guy in the hand, smashing rock, whatever his
The
name
guy
is.
with the hand.
You know the guy.
I don't know.
I think you
Whoa,
downloaded the
pause
wrong
it.
movie, James.
It's a Wreck It Ralph. Wreck It Ralph. Sorry,
There you go. Okay.
Jesus. Mm. Ralph Rex himself. No, that's a different movie. But if you remember
You
that
know, the
movie,
movie
which
with the
also
plumber.
had video,
He goes to her house.
that movie also had video game characters in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Street Fighter guys. I
Yes.
think that was the closest thing
Mhm.
they reminded me of. And I didn't see any flaws in it. I thoroughly liked the style that they chose to depict the illustrations.
Yeah, it's definitely Illumination Studio style. Like all these studios now, like you can look at a Pixar movie and tell it's a Pixar movie or Illumination
Mhm.
or Fox has their
Maybe you guys
what's
can.
what's
I
Fox's
can't.
animation studio? I forgot what they're called, but they're the studio that did uh, the movie with Ray Romano. He plays a woolly mammoth. It's the Ice Age. Ice Age.
Oh, Ice
Yeah.
Age.
So
Yeah, it's Disney
Oh,
has them now,
yeah.
but yeah,
So
yeah, it was
they
the
had
Ice
that
wait,
Age.
that
studio.
wasn't Disney?
No.
Oh, that's
No,
before
it was not Disney.
the first movie.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
these studios, they all have their own style to them. You can tell. So this is typical of Illumination Studios, like Minions and um, all
Mhm.
the Gru movies and things like that. So Despicable Me, just similar type. Definitely look good, and
Right.
I like the way they drew Mario and Luigi. So pretty accurate to how they looked in the games and stuff, the later games at least, and the cover art on
Hmm.
the boxes, right? So I was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we've had a variety of methods that people have gone with translating video games, um, and specifically Nintendo. We talk about Pokemon, not just the regular animated Pokemon, but Detective Pikachu
Mm.
specifically. And we talk about Sonic. That's obviously not Nintendo, but how they decided to do the what if these characters enter the real world, the Smurfs, the all of these things that kind of got turned that specific direction. And I was really happy with the choice to say no, let's just stay true to what would work best with these characters and these stories, which is just fully animated, full fun, bright, colorful, do whatever the hell we want animation. And I think that obviously by the financial return was a good choice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
So now we can kind of get into the nitty gritty of the movie, and this is where we're gonna start having some actual back and forth here.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
All right. So some interesting for me story choices in the sense that they just went just straight towards the I guess the fun nostalgia, member berries, see Mario jumping through the hoops, like just no reason for it. There just happens to be floating blocks in this kingdom with spinning fireballs, and you have to get around them because. So, just interestingly for me, I thought this story fell flat, but had fun, kind of both in the same measure to me, where it didn't give any reasons. It just kind of did its own thing. What did you guys think of the movie overall? Um, did, did you think that they did a great job building characters that people can relate to and kids can learn a lesson from, or did you think it was just like, hey, this is an episode of uh, Bugs Bunny where you know they're just trying to kill the rabbit for the fun of it? Like, what did you guys think of the story?
Yeah.
as a
Mike,
whole.
let me tackle this one first, if you don't mind, Mike.
All right,
Two
go ahead.
things
Go
here,
ahead.
just from hearing Chris. One, this movie being not part of a major tentpole, right? It's not part of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, the major IPs. I thought
It
it
will
was
be.
great. I thought it was
It's
great.
Iron
Yeah,
Man
but it'll be
1.
its own universe of Nintendo. This is the Iron Man of the Nintendo universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's refreshing to see a movie with a recognizable character not be done in a way where it's a origin story, right? Like you're not giving me how Mario became Mario, per se, the character. No, they give you his home life and his jobs and stuff like that. And then once they put him in the Mushroom Kingdom, it's not about too much of a backstory of the main characters. They kind of gloss over it. But that segues into my second point is much like the game itself. If you guys remember back in 1983, 84, when you had that
Mm-hmm.
cartridge and you blew on it, popped it in, and hit start one player, you were just in the middle of the brick road, and then you started walking along,
That's
and a
true.
Koopa came at you. You don't know what it was. So I thought the first act, probably more the second act, showed us something similar to the game, but you as the audience now, not in control.
Right.
So you're watching Mario as an NPC character, per se, going through
Mm-hmm.
his own awakening in his universe once he's in the universe. And I thought it was fantastically done. Yes, some parts of it was campy, like the training sequence and montage. But again, me being just an audience member, it was nice to see exactly the evolution of Mario's character as you would throughout a game. In the beginning, you're
Mm-hmm.
mistiming your jumps. You're getting hit by the Benzai bullet, and you're landing wrong or not far enough. But then you're seeing, so the montage shortens that for you, right? We don't have time to go through this whole training, leveling up, right? We're just gonna kind of gloss
Mm-hmm.
over and give you a nice little montage sequence. So just focusing on the story and the way that the narrative was depicted in this movie, I thought it was good. It wasn't a pure origin, how Mario became Mario, or how Bowser became Bowser. What led him to
Right.
this point, right? We don't care about that. We don't need Anakin prequel story here.
We don't
Yeah,
need
we don't.
We don't
Anakin.
need that.
Uncle Ben's dying
Um,
somewhere in the corner.
yeah, like Mario's family came from Italy and they moved to Brooklyn. They've always been migrants, and now he's a migrant in another world. No, I think, and
Dude, you
to
just you
me,
just came up with a great story setup. I love it. I love
whoa,
it.
whoa, stop!
It's the
Please do not.
Superman version, the double immigrant story. Nice.
The last Italian from Italy. So
The plum
I mean,
father.
just to put a bow on this, my thought here, because we're going on tangents. Is I like the story. To me, it mirrors my first interaction with the game, the gameplay, and you get to see the character from the beginning of the story to the end. Yes, there's some messages there about family and love and teamwork and all. You have to. It's a kids movie, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
can argue that a little bit later. But him getting the super power ups throughout, including the star at the end, I thought it was cute. I liked it, and I can't think of a better version of the story other than maybe cutting back some of the Donkey Kong stuff. Because then it felt a little bit like, okay, we are laying a foundation for a much larger Nintendo universe, and these are all our other products, Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. Then that to me felt a
Mm-hmm.
little bit too. The production people came into the director was like, we need more synergy of our corporate branding here. So throw this in there. And then the writer was like, fuck it. Yeah, sure. Let's, whatever. To add 10 more minutes to this already lean and tight movie. That's why my grade is an A. But yes, I like the story. I like the story very
look,
much.
look, I'm gonna give you a lot of points here for
Oh, shit.
comparing it to starting the game. Like that is a great,
Okay.
just a great
I thought you were about to say
assessment.
my
I love
last
it.
Yeah,
I love
Italian
it.
spot
from
on.
Italy.
Hmm.
All right, Mike, on
Yeah,
you.
so I'm with James on most of it. I did like the twist of Luigi being the one they need to save instead of Princess Peach, because in the game you're always having to save the princess, and conveniently she's in another castle. Oh man! But this was nice, a nice nod to Luigi's Mansion for those who played the game. I
Mm-hmm.
was okay with the Donkey Kong stuff. I really loved it. I thought it was hilarious. The Donkey Kong King was so funny. And then we
Mm-hmm.
had a little shout out to Diddy Kong there in the audience. And Seth Rogen, I think, did a great job as Donkey Kong. So I'd love to see a spin off
Mm-hmm.
movie of Donkey Kong Country.
Oh,
Yeah,
you will.
that would be
You
great.
will.
That's another actor, much like Eddie. I think does pretty well voiceovers and can change his pitch and voice
Yeah, to
more
a
so
point. I don't
than
think
your
he's as
average A
good.
list.
I don't think he's got the range for animated characters like Eddie or Robin Williams did, but
Mm-hmm.
he's getting there. Um, yeah, like I said, and I enjoyed. God, people went crazy with the wokeness because Princess Peach was
Don't you
was
dare! Don't you dare!
harumph harumph. How dare she? Not realizing that in the game she's an actual
Oh, when
playable
she wasn't
character.
wearing a dress for some
Yeah,
reason, I think there was like a people when she was wearing like a bike
right.
suit for some reason. People were like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
and I
god,
love the Rainbow Road
she could
sequence
change
as
it."
well. The shout out to Mario Kart, So all the tie-ins, it felt like to me, like James was saying, as Mario being an NPC, it felt more like I was sitting there when back in the days when my sibling was playing and me watching my sibling play the game.
you're
Yeah,
you're Luigi.
Yeah,
You're stuck in the
exactly. So
cage.
overall, I thought they did a great job with this one. I don't know. Yeah, like James said, I don't know what else how you could have changed the story to make it better. Really, I think they did
I
a
don't
good
know.
job for the first try. I think they did an
Mm-hmm.
excellent job.
No, I off the top of my head, like I'm not watching it going, "Oh, they should have done
Right.
that and should have done that, should have done." It's not that. It's just like I'm seeing it and I'm going, "Oh yeah, there's they're gonna play the pop song there. Oh, they're gonna make a reference there. Oh, I mean, it was close to a Ryan Reynolds movie without Ryan Reynolds being attached to it as you could get. So it just felt I saw all those things. And I've been seeing a lot of great animated movies that didn't feel like that. And this just felt really nostalgia heavy, pop culture reference heavy, pop song popped in for no reason. It just felt like I could see all of
Yeah.
it. And I'm not saying it,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, the physical comedy was great. The timing was good, fast. The pace kept it moving. It didn't sit on those. They could have taken that whole marriage plot. And by the way, like Bowser's whole thing is he wants to marry
Yeah.
Peach. Now that's pulled straight from like the 1980s as a plot for a
Right.
children's movie for some reason.
makes sense. Yeah.
But they didn't sit on that plot. It went pretty quick. One of his minions is like, "What if she doesn't want to?" Like that was
Hmm.
funny. It
No
was a
means
good call
no.
out. Um, I didn't particularly think that the song that people were raving about was anything.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I didn't think. I don't know. It was kind of like
I
I
bland.
saw
disagree
I
with
saw
you
on the
too.
internet
But
people
go
were
ahead.
raving about it. Then when I heard the actual song, I was like, it's not that great. I don't. Yeah.
No, no. And I expect
I,
more out of Jack Black writing
Yeah.
music, right?
I thought it was an interesting take on a villain professing his pain and cartoonish love for
Oh,
another
sure, but the
character.
song. I think
Yes,
the
it
song
wasn't as
itself.
majestic as the way I hear
Yeah.
you. I hear you guys because I do agree.
Yeah.
The internet before I saw
Mm-hmm.
the movie was raving about this song, um, and I was like, it's not that great, but it's good,
All right.
but not that great.
Hmm.
It's interesting, but not spectacular.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I'm in between
it's good for the
you guys
themes
in
of
the
the
in the median.
character, but it's not a
Yes,
song that people are going to like
it.
stick
I
on
should
their
not see it next year
playlist.
in the Academy Awards for
No, I hope not.
Right.
Oh my
best short
Original
god,
song?
song
I hope not.
and
Definitely not.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think the
um
music overall in this movie was memorable. So, like, I can't. Like, you watch a Guardians movie, and James Gunn knows how to pick his soundtrack, for the movie, and
Yeah,
it's
good point. I
memorable.
am getting tired of these movies reusing old cliche songs like "I Need a Hero."
Yeah.
Um,
Like,
this is
stop.
like
Can we stop? Because Shazam used that same
So
damn
there
song.
was
Just,
another movie
just
that
stop.
did
I've
that
been
as
using
well
that song
recently.
since the '80s.
Yeah.
We need to find, like, you're right, Mike. Like how James Gunn has an ear for old classics that we've totally forgotten about
Yeah. And they
until you
fit.
hear it in a
They
movie, and all
fit
of a
with the
sudden you're
scene.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
yeah,
And
good
then
point.
one, like, I'm sure no one's ever heard of except for like 10 people who listen to music in their basement, and then he'll put it as the theme of a Peacemaker
Right.
show and bring it back, right? And then everybody's like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever." Like, you need a guy who can pull that kind of level of song. And sometimes it's okay to use songs that young kids will
Mm.
get, not just 40-year-olds will get,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when they got into Donkey Kong Country and they started whatever, I'm trying to remember the exact song it was. I was like, why are they playing this song? What does this have to do with driving around Donkey Kong
Yeah.
Country?
I did appreciate the callbacks to the songs in the games. As undertones for the
Yeah,
score, which was a nice touch. So.
yeah, when they went with that,
Yeah.
that was good. That's what you
yeah,
should be
that's
doing.
more of the corporate synergy stuff.
Hmm.
This is where I started dipping a little bit in my praise.
Hey, you gotta. It's coming out of that A. It's going down the B line. But I don't know. What was your guys' favorite sequence? What was the most interesting thing that maybe you weren't expecting them to do? Like, we all expected a missile. We all expected a blue shell. Like, yeah, we get that. What was the thing that popped out to you that you weren't expecting?
Hmm.
Mike,
Like
you want to
the
tackle that
cat
first?
suit. Like, I wasn't quite expecting to see the cat suit right
Yeah, that
away,
was a good
which
one.
was funny.
Off the top of my head, I can't even tell
All
you.
right. Well, Mike Ponder.
Yeah.
I think the first one I mentioned it earlier was the training. I'm a sucker for training montages. I've always been since the Rocky
It was
days.
a whole Rocky sequence.
I've seen them all. Team America, World Police, you name it. I'm a master of montages and loving montages.
Mhm.
And again, to my point earlier, I was trying to make is we didn't need to see Mario level up throughout the entirety of the movie. Just give us a short sequence where he's learning how to do the jumps and timing them properly and all that stuff, and then eating the mushrooms and getting bigger, and then getting hit the first time, realizing it shrinks you back down. To me, that was interesting because I didn't know how they were going to approach it in this movie. Because quite honestly, we've only seen the old '90s version of Mario Brothers, and then the cartoons in the '90s as well, which really didn't even touch upon that.
Right.
So I didn't know if they were going to show that and how they're going to show that to us. And I thought putting in that little tight montage in there, was perfect, both story and entertainment for me. And then lastly was the final act. I don't know if we're gonna chew that separately, but getting that the star feature, because that was always
The
like the
performance enhancing drugs.
yes, because I remember the game that was always the key. At least the first two Mario Brothers before it got
Yeah.
wacky. That was it. That was like your Popeye spinach joint.
Mm.
Thanos getting the sixth stone. Seeing what I was gonna do, I thought that was nice. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna tell you. Other than that, I can't remember. I'm probably like Mike. What sequence really made me go, "Ooh, wow"? No, there wasn't any other than the montage and then the final act. But it kept me, engaged. Even the Donkey Kong low points, the Mario Kart driving, and the I'm like, ugh, I was never a fan of Mario Kart, but I understood what they were doing in the movie, and I was like, okay, let's see
Hmm.
how they get out of this. So I don't have a particular set piece that was amazing. I don't know, Mike. Were you able to
Yeah, I
come
don't
with
either. I did enjoy
some
the
blabbering?
the one scene after the the Donkey Kong fight when they go, we need to drive there. So they go down to the garage and they're all making their cars. I thought that part was pretty cool when Mario got to make his car, and Peach got her bike and all that
Mm.
cool stuff. Because as opposed to you, I'm more of a fan of the Mario Kart games. Like I love playing the Mario
Hmm.
Kart games and all the power ups and throwing throwing the turtle shells and all that good stuff. So that was a nice callback for me.
Uh, Actually, a very little one for me was that first when he first jumps into the pipes after the mushroom dude, and just that little very quick sequence, fun, gives you a sense of the world, gives you a sense of how kind of nutty it is. It's not worrying about, you know, oh, well, he gets stuck. No, we're not doing that kind of thing here. We're just having fun with it, and we're going to do the visual gag. And I did enjoy that. That was fun. All right, let's talk about the finale, because I do want to say this bugged me, because he goes through that cool training montage, but it
Mm-hmm.
ends up not only meaning something when he's going against Donkey Kong to an extent, only because he knows what a power up is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get kicked back to Brooklyn, and now the finale has nothing to do with this. Oh, he's getting better at living in this world, this kingdom, and all of
Mm-hmm.
its weird idiosyncrasies. And maybe he's got to dodge fire things that Bowser doesn't, and he's got to jump over hammers and skip under this, and do all the things you did in the game. No, they
Yeah.
just go back to Brooklyn, and then the two brothers
Teamwork. Then we talk
grab
about
the star
teamwork.
and they beat the shit out of the they just literally just beat the shit
All
out of the
right.
bad
This is
guy.
where I'm not going to argue
Like
against
Yeah,
you.
I'm with you there.
like
The whole
what happened to the game?
they kind of lost me
I'm
there when they
more
went back to Brooklyn. I
objective.
was like, why are we?
What's the right
Oh, this is
term?
Brooklyn
Subjective or
justice, bitch.
I forget.
Yeah, so they should have kept
Um,
it in the Mario world, in the Bowser world, whatever we call it.
they should have kept it in one of the castles with the damn drawbridge with the flames
Yeah,
coming through. I mean, that would have been like, you know,
classic. Yeah, callback.
Like
Yeah,
it's so basic. Like that you can't beat him. You can't punch him. He's not that guy. You're not
right.
that guy. You have to come up, you have to think,
Yeah,
you know? And
yeah, yeah,
everybody's trapped and hanging down into this flame pit, and you're like, "Oh, what if I?"
yeah. I'm gonna be
you
a
know.
little more subjective here and say the reason why I still like that third act, and I do see the flaws. I admit that was not its finest moment. Because yeah, it took away from what you thought was going to happen. There was a narrative that it looked like it was building, and then it kind of divorced it for whatever reason. Um,
Mhm.
I still, despite all that, did like the teamwork of Mario and Luigi because they kind of gave us a little bit of a backstory at the beginning of the movie about their issues with their parents and their jobs, and
There's always a bully. I
Mario's
don't know
always
why.
trying
There's
to
always a
defend
bully.
Luigi's little brother without the little. That was actually cute when they had no little. They look like grown men without mustaches. And I like that callback in the final act right before the star power up. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that. I get it.
yeah,
It wasn't its best, but I was still entertained.
Right, yeah. Visually entertaining.
right, for
Yes,
sure.
my kid brain turned on, adult brain was deactivated.
All right. Do you guys have anything you want to say about the finale, or any other part specific you want to call out that I
Real
haven't?
quick, because I think Mike mentioned this. He was just kind of kidding in jest about the woke thing. I'm really getting sick and tired of this whole narrative that folks are bringing in these movies. First of all, they have a total misconception of the term woke, and I'm not going to get into this. It's not a
Yeah,
political show, political science show. I mean, they're not even they have no clue what they're talking about. They're ignorant to the term itself, and then to misapply it to these, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, or any sort of fictional shows as an
Mhm.
agenda. The Princess Peach character was trash in the games. She was not even a damsel in distress. She was just a freaking NPC character that was used as bait for you to continue to level up in the game. In fact, you didn't care about Princess Peach, right? You just care about all the power ups and killing Bowser. The animated
Mhm.
show in the '90s, I remember watching it at Nintendo, where if you watch the right episode, you can get a free order of Nintendo Power
the
magazine.
power.
Those of you guys will remember. She was just as bad in the animated show too, except for she had more dialogue and more lines.
Mm,
But she was like some matriarch somewhere, and So this character was always to me trash. Now comes this movie, and you give me a different version of this character that actually has thought, has ideas,
Mm-hmm.
is creative, is mentoring Mario in the beginning of the movie. She's not replacing him as the co-lead of the movie. She's supporting him, right? Um, yes, she may be used as a MacGuffin for Bowser, but not in the sense of the entire movie itself. Like she's not a true damsel in distress. She's not overpowering Mario or Luigi.
Right.
I thought it was a great job done by the writers and the creators of this movie to give us this version of Princess Peach. And for me to read the backlash about, oh my God, they gave us a woke Princess Peach. You know, she doesn't have a sunflower dress anymore. She's got khaki cargo pants like she's Tomb Raider. And I'm like, what? This is the male psyche so fragile with our own fandom that to me it pisses me off. So I just quick rant about it. I had to get off my
Yeah,
chest.
it's the incels in the
For those that
basement
know
that are
me,
sitting there playing Mario,
it pisses
then
me.
looking at the
Like you
trailer and
finally
going,
give me a version of Princess Peach that I feel like, okay, I can clap on this, and now people are mad about this version. Like you want to go back to the woo, you know, the non-talkative Princess Peach and the big
Yes, they
ridiculous
do.
dress, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's all I have to say on Chris.
yeah, I have a
All
feeling
right.
they prefer their women to not talk. So
Well, their mom does
yeah.
all the talking, so it's not like they can't say much.
Clean up
All
these
right.
crusty socks.
I guarantee if they show Princess, and I know this is not Disney. This could have happened. If this character came out with triple D's, no one would have been complaining about this version of Princess Peach. They were like, you know what, this was good. Yeah, Princess Peach was
Look,
killing it.
look when they came out with the Space Jam 2, and people were complaining about the body
Well,
type
Babs,
of the fictional rabbit
Uh-huh.
girl. Like
yeah, Babs
we
Bunny.
knew there was some problems with some
Yeah,
people.
that was actually in rap songs for a while too.
All right, why don't we give some grades for Super Mario
Mm.
Brothers? James, you seem to be high on this movie. I'm going to let you go first.
It goes without saying, I enjoyed this movie. This was probably the best animated movie I've seen since, was it Encanto or Bruno?
Mm,
One of those two movies.
yeah, Encanto. It's
Yeah, because
Encanto.
Ghost came before that. The Soul came before those movies.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
peak pandemic. So that being said, I'm going with a B plus.
Nice, nice. And Mike.
Yeah, so agree with James. Pretty damn good movie. I hope to see some more of this stuff. Please, Nintendo, branch out. Bring me Zelda. Bring me Metroid.
Yes,
Bring me
you
Star
can do it.
Fox.
I believe. Yes.
Star
Yes, I'd love to
Fox.
see Star Fox on screen.
Bring me Mega
Mega
Man.
Man.
Somebody out
Yes.
there. Come on. In the world of AI right
Oh
now,
man.
Mega Man writes
No,
itself.
stay away from AI. No
Dr.
AI art,
Wiley was
please.
creating
Pay
Chat
somebody to
GPT,
write it.
went crazy, and come on, man.
So I
All right.
too am gonna go B
Mm-hmm.
plus and say great job and bring me some more.
All right. So I'm
Hmm.
close to you guys. A little different. Like I said, I kind of maybe focused in on the flaws. Animation was great. They did a great job. The designs were fantastic. It was super fun, and we love to see an animated movie being popular. It really it's great for the art form as it is, and that people are like, oh, let's make more of these. They'll make more of them as they make money. That being said, I'm going with a B minus. I thought it it really kind of just brushed over any kind of depth that it could have had, especially around a character that was, hey, I'm infatuated with this girl. Oh, so her boyfriend's now going to beat me up. Like that feels a little 80s level movie theme, but other than that, I think it looked great. It was fun to watch. It was enjoyable to watch. I would definitely watch this again with I'll show it to every kid that comes into the house.
Mhm.
Just throw it on, they'll love it, and it's great fun.
Yeah.
So B minus. Not everything can be an A. If you want an A animation, go watch Star Wars Visions.
Yeah. Different
Yeah,
audience.
that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because those are definitely more thoughtful when it comes to storyline, but they're short, so kids still like them. Except for the second one, man, that was depressing.
That was the droid in the Sith one.
Crab
Droid. The second episode, right?
No. The second one is the Irish one, where they go to the Screecher's Reach.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a little depressing. Mike, you should watch Screecher's Reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 2. Great storyline. Same people who created Legend of the Kells, I think it's called. Great Irish animation studio. Anyway, that's it. Wow, we got through that pretty quickly, guys.
Yeah. Lean and tight.
Not too many battles. It was mostly just a few little hiccups on the movie. But Mike, where can people come and give us their take on Super Mario?
So as usual, all over the internet at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner to get notifications, and leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the Super Mario movie. And
and also Screecher's Reach. What'd you think of that? Star Wars Visions Season 2, Episode 2. Or
and please leave a comment, though. I mean, I've seen the last video we had posted. I think it was my review of Guardians. Like 50 views in like 24 hours, yet not a single comment. Like, come on, guys. We thank you for viewing it, but please leave a comment. Let's get some discourse on. Let's start engaging. We love to engage with you guys. We want to argue, debate, agree, get some feedback.
Absolutely.
Let us know.
All right, we will see you guys later. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Hey, Indigo made the beat.